Hey, good morning, kids. How you doing on this Tuesday morning? If you're in, somewhere in the part of America, and if you're over in Europe, it's like Tuesday evening.
Yeah, getting there.
And it's getting even later as you get further away in that eastern direction.
That's true.
That means it's getting earlier in the western direction. Rory, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Are we done with this thing spinning around behind me? Should we go to, should I get something different coming in here? Those are not
all the snazzy.
Yeah, I got to get something really, really. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm in space.
That's nice.
Let's get to work, shall we?
Sure.
So, Rory.
Yes.
Let's get some music. That's what I want to do. Yeah, that was different. I hit the wrong button. That's okay. Let's get some music. So, Rory, you may know from our discussion last week that, and by the way, let me know if that music's too loud in your ears, Rory, because you have individual.
That's pretty good for me, actually, at the moment. That's just bubbling under there.
The family decided to take a vacation without me, as they do every once in a while.
Indeed.
And that meant the entire weekend was mine.
Ooh.
And
Mark's left to his own devices,
yeah,
with a whole pile of spare time,
and
absolutely no threat of doing anything in an overkill style fashion whatsoever.
I went pretty much crazy over the weekend. Is what I did. Maybe I'll show you a little bit about that. But it didn't stop this morning. Like at 4 a.m., I like blink, eyes open, and I realized what I had to make. I've only got a few hours before they come back today, and then it's like it's all over. So this is my last overkill thing that I'm going to be able to do. Here's how it's going to go. So normally in a UI that you're creating, a user interface, you give feedback to the person controlling it. And in our case, the user is the Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master is located in New York, and the Dungeon Master has a stream deck of buttons that they can press. So, for example, you're looking at the software version of it, but I've got a hardware physical thing right here on my desk, and I can push
tactile device.
I can push the buttons. And I guess speaking of buttons here, I'll show you. So, for example, here, if I want to say, let's show character number 1, I can hit that button 1, and there it is. Kashner shows up. He's a frostbound. It looks like he's dead. That's too bad. That sort of thing. And so I can just hit
Kashner's corpse shows up for you to trip over.
Sure, whatever. That could be it as well. Or it could be, well, the Dungeon Master wants to hit this button, and that sort of thing. So we want to give feedback. But sometimes, for example, in actually this example right here, we can't give feedback on the Stream Deck. So we want to give feedback either in one of two places for the way this user interface works. Either the Dungeon Master will get a text message confirming the option.
Yep.
Or they'll get nothing. And when I hit the button on the Stream Deck, by the way, when it sends a command, so I'll hit the number 2, there's a little green checkbox if that command was successfully sent out. So there's a little bit of feedback that the button worked. Okay?
Yeah.
Or didn't work if there was some problem connecting to the chat room to send the message. But also notice here on the live stream, the Dungeon Master has the ability, when they hit the number 3, to see Mr. Smoopy pop in. Like that. If they hit it again, Mr. Smoopy goes away.
Mm-hmm.
See what's going on there? That's the feedback. Okay? So in a normal interface, you generally would have, like, you do something simple, like the background flips colors.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? And that tells you that this option is selected, or I've got an X in a checkbox. Tells
that's
me
right.
that
Some
option.
change of state that's subtle but noticeable when you go looking for it.
Yes, exactly. Guess what we're not doing on the show today? We're not doing subtle. We are not doing subtle.
Okay.
And in fact, it's a little crazy, but like I say, there's nobody to stop me today. And so So we're going to do it until...
This feels like a kind of 4th of July, all the fireworks, explosions and stuff kind of a moment.
Until I hear the car drive up, at which point we're going to bring a spreadsheet up and we'll finish we'll finish the show.
Do you remember how software used to have, certainly games, certain varieties of games had what they called a boss key?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? You'd hit the boss key and it would present a spreadsheet instead of the game that you were playing.
I feel like I did that at some point in time. I wrote something with that in it, with something like that, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
It's a long time since I've seen anything like that.
Either I saw it, but I have a very strong memory of exactly what you're talking about. It's really funny.
Yeah.
So,
okay, cool.
So this is the premise. Oh, by the way, I was hinting about this. Look what I wrote over the weekend. Watch this. Hold on. Let me get a few more in here. Let's bring up 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right, like that. And then now let's get rid of 1, 2, and let's get rid of 1 and 4. Ready? 1 and 4. Watch this.
Oh, very smooth.
So one of the things I added to the animation engine was an ease command.
Yeah.
And we're going to use that today. So you can go from one location to another and ease it. It's really interesting too, because these things, in order to do that movement, you have to tell them they move, but you also have to tell them that you have to disable gravity for the sprites for those, because otherwise they're going to fall at gravity, right? If you say you can move, they're going to be like, okay, and they'll fall. They'll behave as if they're in their physical world.
Because the default is, as you say, physical. That's where we started
this.
Right.
So I have to say moves is true, disable gravity, and then I can use the ease command to say go from point A to point B, that sort of thing. So it's very cool. Likewise, if I want to put 3 and 4 back in, watch this. 3 and 4, like that. It figures out where to put them, eases the others over one at a time. 1, 2, 3. Right there's that. Watch what's happening. Watch when I do the 3. Watch them ease over. 4, 5, 6, and 7. We'll go one at a time. Watch it. It's fast, but watch it. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. See that? It's way more natural. And remember what was happening before? It was just an instant flash from one state to another.
It was gone, or it was back.
Yes, and as a human being, it's
jarring.
It's jarring and hard to track that. So we've got something that's easier to track. It's easier for viewers to understand what's going on as well, right? You've got some time. Like if I say, hey, I want to hide the, you can see the Stream Deck is right up there. If I click on more right here, there's an option to hide the dead. So I can hit that, and any character that's died will just go away. Useful if I'm battling multiple creatures, right? That sort of thing. Yeah. Targeting, I haven't shown you that. Let's see, if I hit the show targets button right here, I don't think anything's going to happen because I don't have any targets. So these just go away. No targets yet. So I can say show enemies right here. Okay, there are my enemies right there. And I've seen this before. This is like this is a weird kind of refresh kind of thing. I'm not sure what's going on with it's weird. And, but I found that if I just go back and hit the command a second time, it'll get them right. I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay.
But I figure it's a minor thing with an easy fix. And it's it looks like a real hard to find bug. I'm not exactly sure what's happening there.
The problem is always recreating the circumstance. Once you can reliably do that, it's not so bad.
But I think it needs some thought. I need to think about it a little bit. So now if we come back over and we say, so these are the enemies right here. Let's go in. I'm going to go to damage health down right here. I'm going to hit that button. Then I'm going to say let's say 50 hit points. I just typed in a 50. And then I'm going to say heal all, or heal targets rather, right here, this one. And, there are no targets.
No.
Oh, well, let's set some targets then. So I'm going to hit the target button, and I want to say more, and then target enemies right there. Okay, so now you can see I've got a target animation. Look at this, Overkill Productions.
Oh, yeah.
You see that across there?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. And so that shows you an enemy is targeted. One more time back down into, I'm going to say 50, and then heal targets. And now all the targets now are no longer dead. And you can see they're in some varying state. We can do damage to them as well. Here's the other part where you may have noticed some overkill coming in here. 55 damage targets.
Yep, that was effective.
So now you can see.
It's still going.
So it depends on the creature, right? It was a different kind of hit, depending on the creature. All right, so that's it. Let me jump up.
I was particularly impressed how your water elemental manages to bleed.
Yeah. Well, We're going to work on that later.
Okay,
but that's
fair enough.
That's going to be after we're under the watchful eye of the family, and they want to make sure we're not doing anything crazy. So yeah, they just watch. I don't know if you know this. They sit and watch with their arms folded while I'm coding, make sure I don't do any
Judging
overkill.
you.
Yes, judging me every moment. So here's what we're doing today. That's a little bit similar, and I think it's going to be fun, especially if we get it all figured out. Now, I should warn you, I've been up since 4 a.m. because I like, what? Oh, like this, thinking about this. So
potentially running on fumes at this point.
I'm running on fumes. I feel like I'm going to make some mistakes. That's why you're here, Rory. We're going to get the hard work out while you're here. You're going to help us save it the day, as usual. Here's the deal. When we go to do a saving throw, the UI here is not great. Here's how it works. If I want, for example, Fred to do a saving throw, I click Fred, and then I click like saving throw down here, and then I click what I want, like wisdom. Boom. And then that comes up, we see that, and then I hit the roll dice button, which for some reason isn't here. That's weird.
Saving throw has failed.
Oh, saving throw has failed.
Text on screen.
No, it should have rolled immediately. I'm not sure what happened here. I'm going to take my dice layer and refresh it, just in case. Let's go back and initialize the player data again. And one more time. Let's bring that up so you can see the buttons. So I come in and I say saving throw, wisdom, nothing's going.
But that text is there again.
Yeah, immediately. Could I have broken something? They all work here. The wisdom one doesn't. I wonder if it's a bug.
It's almost as if the system has decided they don't need to throw any dice, and then it evaluates the total, discovers it's 0, and thinks, well, that failed.
Yeah, what is going on with that? That's interesting. Strength probably fails, and no, strength works. Let's go back to wisdom.
Interesting.
I wonder if it was a state bug, and now wisdom will work. I'm going to hit wisdom now. It's a state bug.
Okay.
I have to have rolled 1 die, I think. Okay. Let me make a note of that. Because I gotta figure that one out. Look for a state bug. All right, I'm going to hunt that down later, figure that out. Okay, so the UI for one player is like, okay, good, if you have one player, but what happens if you have, let me show you, I'll show you. For all players, it would look a little bit like this. You'd go here, and then you jump in here, and then you'd hit one of these. And so like if I hit, for example, strength right there, there would be now all players would run it.
Yep.
But we actually get into the situation often. Got some bad rolls there. We get into this situation often where the Dungeon Master says, okay, Fred and Miles, we're gonna need to roll for you.
Yeah, so sort of like an ad hoc group somehow need to be able to do this because they're on the left side of the room and that's where the danger is.
Yeah.
Or wherever the reasoning.
And when that happens, I'm like, okay, just a minute, let me bring up the UI and I will do this and this and this, and he'll tell me whether, so I'm like doing this a bunch, right? Yeah. And what I want to do is I want to make it so it's similar to the UI that we built for the NPC and monsters, where the player or the DM hits it and you can kind of see what's coming up, right? So now 2 and 4 are on screen, right? And we can support targeting as well. Let's see here. Do I have a target shown? Yeah, I do. So I can target those two guys. Right. So it's that kind of a thing, right? Where something comes up there, and this is actually the start of something that I want to do for a number of aspects of the game. I want to put status information right up in front of the player. Like, for example, Little Cutie used to have a spell to cure wounds. And so she'd want to target some of us. And so let's see who's targeted, right? And so basically I have 2 things I want to do. I want to be able to show targets like that one right there. And I want to show a player is geared up to roll the dice. Okay? So that the Dungeon Master can set up who's going to roll the next roll, right? So he's going to say like Miles and Merkin, you're going to roll 2d20s.
So I guess you're aiming for numbered characters in a similar fashion to toggle on and off their both visibility / targeting, and then you get to say everyone roll advantage or everyone gets a certain level of health.
Rory, can you save that kind of talk for when the family comes back and we have to look like we're doing business? Let me tell you what we're going to do.
Was that too sensible?
Let me tell you what's going to happen. So when the Dungeon Master, so here's the page I've got set up for it. Let's see. Saves and checks. Let's bring that up so you can see it. So this is what my Stream Deck looks like now. It's got buttons for each player. And here's the big clue in terms of what we're going to do. When you press the button, oh, look, we got to change. It's the wrong picture there for lady. We'll fix that. But when you click on the button, a dragon is going to fly up right next to the player holding die. And that's how you know who is going to roll.
Fair enough.
Okay? And when the roll goes, the dragon's going to drop the die. It's going to fall at gravity, so it's going to accelerate as it goes off screen. Right? In fact, I just realized we should do that just before we release the dice. So it like goes off here, and then they come up from up there. So it's almost as if we're rolling the dice for real. And I think we're going to just have the flying dragon explode right there.
Fair enough.
So that's how we're going to indicate. We're going to indicate it to the viewers, so it'll be fun for the viewers to see who's rolling, right? The players will be able to see as well, right?
This is good. It's right up in front of everybody.
And the Dungeon Master will be able to see it too. And the other thing is, because we've got a Dungeons and Dragons theme, it doesn't make sense for me to have a lighted placard light up, because that didn't exist in those days. But to have a dragon come up, it totally fits with the theme.
Sure. Everyone had their personal dragon to declare to the world their state.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. In anticipation of this moment, I built this morning. I know. I have two different kinds of die. I've got a light colored die and a dark colored die. And this is just so that we can switch the die to look like the player's die. Everything in here is hued red, because we've seen before that hue is at 0, and it allows us to color shift. I've got the dragon hand. So the dragon is going to hold the die. I've got an animation for the dragon flying. Like about 29 frames of animation. Sweet. Right?
Nice.
And I've got this over-the-top animation. This is killer to make this believable, of the hands on top. This is going to go in front of the die. Okay, right there. Yeah, he's going to be holding the die. Here's the die. The die also has an animation. Watch it. It'll slowly move up and down. You can see it right there. See it slowly move up. And it's just moving up and down, like I say. And I've got two of these right here. And, you know, I suppose we could point out that, wait, Mark, you've only got two. Won't people notice that it's the exact same face of the die facing the user? I don't think so. I don't think so, because everything else is happening while this is going on. And
well, that's just because the dragons like to pick things up in a precise manner, that's all.
And if it really is, you know what I can do to blow your mind so you don't look at it? I can throw fire from this guy's mouth if we want to, right? That's not hard to do. Randomly throw out fire.
There's very little in this world you can't fix by just throwing out a little random fire every now and again.
Just a little noise or anything, something like that. Okay, so let's get to work. Let's get in there and start writing it.
Sweet.
It's a little overwhelming to make all this work, and so this is why I need you here to do this. But I've got all the pieces. Oh wait, I want to do one check-in. It looks like I didn't check in my changes. I've gone through all of these. What's going on in the spell book? Oh yeah, I disabled global. You remember the thing we wrote a while back to skip frames when we were loading because we had these giant...
it's an optimization because we had way more frames than maybe we strictly needed.
And
they were causing performance issues.
Whoa! Who's here? Who's that guy? What's his name? Ooh, that's some code. He's a gorilla. Who could it be?
Gorilla coding?
No, it's Coding Gorilla. It's that guy. Hey, Coding Gorilla.
Welcome, Coding Gorilla. It says prefers bananas instead of fire.
So remember, in fitting, I prefer bananas instead of fire myself. Okay, that fits as well. So where was I? Fitting with something I was about to say. Oh, I know. Fitting with Overkill Productions.
We were talking about performance
and having
related things.
Nobody to say, Mark, don't do that. Guess who deleted the optimization in case we had too many frames over the weekend?
I'm going to guess you.
I commented out the code for that. That's down here in parts, I think. Where is it? Here it is, right here. This part right here. This is where we would skip frames. We'd load a portion of it. It was actually causing problems in other pieces of the code that needed to sync up on a particular frame exactly. And so I'm like, yeah, let's take it out and see how the system performs. And I'm still like, I'm still feeling pretty good. Look at this. I'm streaming live. I'm under 30%. You know, that sort of thing.
And we're back to full fat HD flowers now.
Yeah, we are. 60 frames a second or whatever. No, it's 30 frames a second, but it's full on. All the frames are there. We're not doing anything. Although, oh, look at that. There's a little, I'm wondering if I haven't seen that before. That right there. It's a little
morph.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what one of the other things that happened over the weekend is I realized that there was a bug. Where is it? It's an advanced frame or nearby advanced frame. Let me go find that, show you the bug fix for this. Advanced frame. In Sprite Proxy, it's near here. Whoever calls this. Here it is, right here. Where's that image? There it is. Okay. So, this was the code for determining where the segment start index was wrong.
Okay.
And this is one of those things where I was looking at some weird behavior and I was like in here looking at it, right? And this is my core game engine, right? This is something that I would want to be very careful about making changes to.
Well, it's used in so many places at this point.
Yeah, and our code was not written correctly. And I remember just in a cloud trying to reach for it. And I thought I had it when I wrote the code, but I didn't. You know, lesson be learned, right? If you're reaching, make sure you can verify that it's correct. And I think that for whatever we were testing with, it worked, but it was incorrect. And so I did two things that were kind of interesting. One thing I'd never done before. Let me see if I can bring this up. Give me a second. I went into Google Sheets. And I started, because I was trying to visualize the problem. And I thought, I wonder if I could visualize this in Google Sheets more effectively than I could in my brain.
Okay.
And here it is, right here. And I built this, and I started looking at it, and I put the equations here. These are the equations I was working with, and then I was finally able to test. So like what's going on here is the frame index is what we're on. So that's this thing. If I'm in a segment, that means I'm looping in that segment.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this allows me to create a single animation that has different states specified by different segments, all having the same.
It's very
length.
similar to sprite sheet technology.
Okay.
So you load one thing and then you reuse multiple sub pieces of it for efficiency purposes.
Yeah. So it's kind of a little bit like that. But it has potentially a start, potentially an end as well. Mm-hmm. So I can roll from the beginning into start, get me in my loop, switch to another segment. Okay, now I'm here. Switch to another
example
segment.
Of this is our drones. We have the move left and the move right and the hover in place.
Yeah.
As different parts of the same, or different segments within the same animation.
Yes, that's how we started. By the way, the drones have not actually been working. I've been noticing this for their animation. Notice there's only one. That used to flip between two for the blades. The blades aren't cycling.
Yeah.
Something changed a long time ago, and I haven't gone in to look for it. But I've noticed this for a while.
Okay.
But a good example is, if that were working, would be the drones, for sure. And then I can play the end. So anyway, what I did is I did two things to try to figure this out. I went into PowerPoint, and I went in here. And this is this is my frame index. So as I start, if I come in and I say, let's just be at 0, then notice I got a negative number here because I'm not valid yet. I'm not past the start offset. Yeah. I need to get past frame 53. So if I get to frame 53, we're now a relative index of 0, meaning from the start, that's relative to the start of the segment. But now my segment start index is 53 and the end is 141 because I've got a length of 88. Here, let's change this to like be a 10. And now you can see I go from 53 to 63, which means when I get to 62, I should still have the same values below me right here. These two are the same. But when I get to 63...
Effectively, for any given frame index, you can be told the start and end absolute frame index for that particular segment, which is good.
That's what I needed to figure out to make this whole thing work. So now notice the difference between 63, 62 gets the earlier segment, 63 gets the next one. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
That's what I did. I created, as you can see, I was like, it was important to me to document this. Next to the fix, there's the old bug.
Yeah.
And so I put that in there. So that fix is in there now as well. And I don't think I documented that, so let's write that in there. Fixed frame, what are we calling this? This is in advanced frames. Fits, oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, segment calculation code in advanced frames. And sprites.advanced frames. That's it. All right, let's... only one of these I need. It'd be nice to be able to see them here. I'm going to stage them all. Oh, wait. I can tell if I go into the comment, I can see which one it is. I just put several ones in. It ends in 1E8. That's the one I want right there. Stage selected. Let's remove them. Okay. Stage all. All right, and commit those changes. Those changes immediately. Okay. All right, first thing I think we want to do is work on the...
Jadisku 7, where are you? We need your help! Oh, yeah, alright.
Whoa!
Here, do I am.
That'll teach those aliens.
I feel like every day the aliens are almost here to take over the show.
Welcome to Jadisku 7.
Yeah, welcome indeed. Okay, first thing we need to do is we need to get the command from the Stream Deck, send it down to SignalR. So to do that, we need to create a base Stream Deck command. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll take this piece right here. I'll duplicate it. I think I'm going to call it change player state command. Is that what I have it? What did I type in over here? Change player stat. I'm going to change it to E here every time. State. Come on. State. Yeah. I know, precious time, burning precious time. Not sure when that car is going to drive up. We got to get this done before they get here. And then it's going to take, looks like it's going to take 2 more pieces of information, is what it looks like. Every single one of these commands is going to take essentially 2 parameters, it looks like. One is going to be what we're going to do, and then the data for that thing we're going to do. So I'm doing this instead of creating individual commands for every single different thing. I've got one command to kind of route the data over. So change player state command, I've got that. Command and data. We're going to need to get data. So it's going to be this, followed by this, followed by 1 more spaces, followed by another word.
Okay.
I think that's fair. And then now we're going to say match success, then we're going to say command is equal to that, and we're going to say data is equal, data is equal to 2. groups of 2. And we're going to dupe that. And then we're going to send data here. We have to register this. Normally we don't. And I know if you've been watching the show for a while, you're like, wait a second, I thought you built an architecture. Oh, Jesus! That guy always gets me, Rory. Holy cow. That guy is indeed a wicked blue ninja.
He is.
How you doing, wicked blue ninja? Let me check up. Am I missing anything in the chat room? I just realized I haven't been looking over there. I got it.
It's mostly just me flying the drone around.
How have we been doing? We're doing pretty good.
Yeah. We're
Tell them what we're working on.
We're working on some. Well, you know, targeting somebody with rolling a dice is too simple. So we figured let's have some dragons fly them in.
Yeah.
Because why not?
All right. So here we go. We're going to register this command, change player state command, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to create something. We need to create this in the Dungeon Master app. Let's move this to its own file. Okay, let's declare this. Right there. Actually, I want to put it close to the toggle one. Toggle target, I think. Jump over there. Let's grab this slightly different data, which I have right there on the clipboard. Okay. All right. So change player state command. Why is this red? Oh, I see. There. Okay. Roy, first time in my life, I made broccoli this morning for my second breakfast.
Sure.
I did that. It's my defense in case they come in and they're like, you have not been doing any Overkill Productions work, have you, Mark Miller? And I'll be like, oopsie, maybe.
Look how responsible I've been being. I've got broccoli.
Okay, let's set a breakpoint here. I don't want to write too much code without checking it, so let's just do this a piece at a time, okay?
Okay.
We'll run this real quickly. Yeah, the cool thing, change player state command, uh-oh. That's not good. What? How'd I get 2 of these? It's just the same thing, it looks like. Okay. I'm not sure if I did this myself earlier today or if I declared it twice. That doesn't make sense. Let's try again. Let's do a run. And actually, let's also clear all of these guys.
That's a bit better, yeah.
Yeah. No, what's my problem? Oh, do I have one running right now? That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's close it. One more time. We'll get there. All right, so we're going to test to make sure that when I hit the button on the Stream Deck, we get to our breakpoint. That's all we're going to do. Once we get to that, we're going to take it next level. By the way, Wicked Blue Ninja, you came in late. We're going to, not late, but just before you came in, there's no admonishment on this show. There's not. I promise you, you're going to be okay. There's no, you did give Wicked Blue Ninja 5 demerits though, right, Roy? Just, okay.
4.
There's no
it's
admonishment, but there are
Only
demerits. All right, let's initialize. I don't even think I need to initialize, actually. I should have just come right in. Let's go to the Stream Deck. Grab saves and checks now. This is the new UI. I'm going to hit one of the buttons. I hit it. Didn't get to see the breakpoint. All right, let's find out why. It's the breakpoint there. Oh, here's why.
Target command doesn't match.
Yeah, that's my problem. All right, that's okay. Hit the button.
Fair enough.
Change player state. Yeah. sometimes I have to write a lot of code before we can test. And some, on the show, we've written like code for like a half hour, 45 minutes. There we go. All right, we're good. We got 2 pieces of data coming in. Toggle ready, roll dice, and data. Okay, good. Can I do the next bit all in edit and continue? I think I can. I'm going to run it. Well, actually, let's do edit and continue. Let's get the breakpoint again. So I'm going to hit button. We'll get to the breakpoint. Let's use it, kick into gear, go with edit and continue. I cannot create things in new files. That's the only downside. And I don't have any file set up in advance up here, so we're going to have to build it up here. But we're going to do it, and then we'll take it out afterwards. So we're going to create a new class. It's going to be called player state. This is going to hold what we want to track. I'm going to create a Boolean in here called ready to roll dice, like that. Okay, I'm going to create another int property called player ID. And for now, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. But later, I'm going to add more properties here, and we're going to send them down. Like, player is targeted will be here too. So that if somebody wants to cast a spell on a player, this will hold that information. Okay, as a matter of discipline, I know that I'm going to need to create a class in TypeScript that matches this. And so what I want to do is I want to immediately go down there and start doing that. Well, looks like we just got a follow. Who is that?
That's cool.
No. Who is it? Who's my follow? Out there, I want to acknowledge them. I just missed it. Mags669 has followed. Cool.
Thanks for the follow there. That's really good.
Follow. Okay. So let's go to TypeScript and build it. Switching to the other solution. Here, I think I might have created. I think I created a player state manager file, but I don't see it here. It should be in here. Okay, I got a file with a class, bare bones. Here we're going to create that new class we just created. So we're going to come in here and say class, player state. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go back over here. What else do we have? We have ready to roll dice. And that's going to be a Boolean. So we're going to type in VB here, paste, and get player ID as well. I want them to be in the same syntax. Sorry, VN. Like that. All right, so now we've got our player state in both places. What we want to do is we want to send the player state over to through Signal R down to the overlays that are working in TypeScript.
Yep.
So we need something to hold that, and I think it's going to be. I think it's a class called player states. Maybe all player states is what it is. I think it's going to have a string property called command. It might have a string property called data. I'm not sure. We might. Are we going to do this or not? The problem is I had two different dreams about how to do this, and they're arguing with each other.
There's a bit of a conflict there.
Yeah, I don't ever think anything through on this show. I just go from my dreams. That's all I'm doing. I'm channeling the ghosts of dead programmers, I guess. I guess that was gruesome. I should have said that. Smoothie's here.
Hey, Smoothie.
How you doing, Mr. Smoothie? Check it out, Mr. Smoothie. You're pretty cool. How you doing, Smoothie? Check it out. You are, I think, character number 3. Wait, why isn't that showing up? Oh, because we're at a breakpoint. I think I can run. Let's have you show up here. You can see it. There it is right there. You're healthy, Mr. Smoothie.
It's healthy.
It's good. Good to know. Yeah, you're up there. How Has RPG. Love those overlays. Well, thank you. Has RPG. Love the new picture too. Yeah, it's better, isn't it? It's better. The other one was throwing an error when it was trying to load it sometimes. I didn't quite figure that out. Okay. Let's get
back to the code.
Yeah.
All right, so
So we're trying to work out how to send the data, or what data precisely to send down to the client.
I'm going to do this for now. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to type in al dot what's on the clipboard. That slash right there. It's just going to give me a auto-implemented property list of that type that was on the clipboard. And then I'm going to call this the players. Oops, I'm not at a breakpoint. Let's get to a breakpoint. I think that's the button's going to get me to a breakpoint. There we go. So now I can make that change, and then if I just hit F10, it should compile it, and everything's okay. All right, so there's all player states. This is what I want to send down. Okay, now what we want to do is want to create a property of type all player states up here. So I'll just type in, or maybe a field. So I'm going to type in b/ like that, because that's on the clipboard now. Paste it in again, do that. I can't, edit and continue will not allow me to initialize it right now. Here on this line. So what I need to do instead, let's do this. Let's do a property instead. So I'm going to create a read-only property of that type. So I'm going to type in r/ like that to give me a read-only property. Paste that in. Perfect. And then this is just going to return the lowercase version of that. What it's going to do like that. Okay. No, it's not. It's going to...
It's a conditional initialization, yeah?
Yeah, it's going to say if... can I do this or not? I'm not sure if I can do this or not. Hold on. Yeah, it's not like in this syntax here. I'm not sure what that syntax is right here. Then return... It's not liking any of this. I guess I got to change this whole thing to just to get it.
I think normally it's expected that you'd return something immediately with that syntax, so yeah.
I was hoping I could throw a little more code in there, but I guess I can't. Okay, so if this is going to be null, then what we're going to do is we're going to create a new instance of it, like that, and then we're going to return all player states. Cool. So now I can come in down here, and we can go down and we can say... Where's that breakpoint? F10, maybe that'll help me find it. Let's go back in and do this again. Get inside here. Okay. Now, what's my command and data again? Toggle ready roll dice, and the player is M. Okay. So I don't think we're quite writing code here yet. I think we're gonna do a switch statement here, and we're going to say the first one, which is and we're going to say toggle ready roll dice, like that, and we're going to send data. That's what I think we're going to do. That's what that's going to look like. Okay, so we'll declare this. Shouldn't have done that. I have a hotkey for declaring methods, just like that, much faster. Okay, now we're here. Let's set the breakpoint here. Clear this one. Just getting there one step at a time. And now we've got toggle ready roll dice for M. Somewhere in here, I want to find out what is going on with the target command. No, not the target command. Roll dice.
So you mean how we target the NPCs?
I want to know how they get from the. There's a method call, and I don't remember what it is. How we get. It's inside of here. I think it's in the interface. Maybe get player ID from name. it may be that. Yes, it's looking for the player shortcut. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Get player ID from name. That was in all players. So this should give me my player ID. Again, I hit the stop, cancel. I hit the wrong button. I got a shortcut just for this. I got to train myself to do it. So the player ID is there. The fail, what does it give me back on a fail? -1. All right, player ID is less than 0. We're out of there. Now we have the player ID. Then we want to say, where's the field? I've forgotten the field we created. All player states? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All player states. Players. I'm going to do it this way. I'm sensing the need to do a lot of stuff in here, to pass in this. So we're going to do that. Let's go declare that. Again, let me teach myself to use the right shortcut for it. I want to change this to a dictionary. Do I? Wait.
As a dictionary, you can at least pull out the details of an individual player quite quickly,
Yeah,
rather than having to iterate.
but I've only got like 5, right? There's no performance, there's no perceivable performance benefit in it.
But it does stop you having to do link/iteration at the point of wanting to use something. Unless, of course, you want to. I suppose, arguably, you might want to do that every time anyway, because you want to put the details of all 4 or 5 players up there at the same time. But if you're going for...
Well, when I get it down to TypeScript, I want it to be a list. So it makes sense to be a list here.
It does, yeah.
But I could do it as a dictionary elsewhere and then, bubble it up as a list. But I think what I'm going to do... Yeah, I think what I'm going to do... Okay, I'm going to do this. Get... So we're going to create a variable called player state. That's going to be equal to get player state player ID. So we're going to use this kind of code everywhere, and this code is going to check to see if it exists. So it's going to be that line we're going to use at everywhere we have a function in here.
Yeah.
And then get player state is going to see if it's got it, and if it's not, it's going to add it and then return it. Okay? So we're going to do something like this. We're going to say players dot FOD, first or default, x equals player ID equals player ID. Then I'm going to hit my shortcut binding to give me that one. Bound, I'll call this. And okay, so if we find it, then we're going to return it. Otherwise, we're going to say players dot add We never instantiate this. This is an edit continue issue. I could write it up there, but because we're in edit continue, and because I've already got my property declared, I can't put it in the getter up there. At least I don't think I can. Actually, I might be able to. Let's see if edit continue can handle that. Wouldn't that be impressive? If it can allow me to do this, change the getter. Oh, wow.
I think it'll be good primarily because you're changing a strict definition, not necessarily running code now.
This is going to be interesting to see how that works. So I can create that there. And say, hey.
Starting to notice. That get's still being complained about.
Just because not all the code paths return value.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll get there. Good. There. Now what's going on with set? Let's go to because it's not marked abstract. Or what? Yeah, because it's got no data. It doesn't know where to send it. I think I'm going to I can't get rid of set. So I have to give it something. I guess I'll just say players is equal to value. Okay. Make that private. Actually, that is private by default. I'm totally thinking TypeScript. My head was in TypeScript for a moment. Okay, so now I think that's going to work. So now we're going to say found players equal players. Otherwise, we're going to say add. Let's create a new player state. Here's my new player state, and then we're going to say, actually, I guess I could say player ID is equal to player ID. Okay? Here's my initialization there. You know what? I really don't like this. I don't like this style very much. It's, but I have to do it because we're in edit and continue right now. So I like it a lot. Because I think I've already compiled since I added this with it. I could create a second constructor, but I'll go with this for now because it's going to work. Then we're going to add this here, and then we're going to return that player state we just added. Okay? All right. So that's just going to, hide away the details of how we're maintaining the list. So we just have this simple bit right here. Then we're going to say player state dot ready roll dice equals not equals. No. Is that right? Yeah, equals not that is what we want. Okay. So now we just toggled the state. Okay. All that I'm expecting to work. Let's run it. Let's get to here. Run.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah. See? I was going to be impressed if they made that work. All right, we'll kill it. Kill it.
I was going to say, you don't want to undo and redo any of that. That's just, yeah.
I'm going to fix this though right here. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to paste that there. Hit the code rush key. We're going to choose generate constructor. And sweet. It's hooked it all up. Good. That's what I wanted to do. I like that better. New player state. Adding it. Returning it. Let's move initialization to declaration so that all is on one line. Good. So get player state is good to go. It's going to always create one for us right there. Let's move these to their own files now, since we're not in edit and continue anymore. Yeah, I think we push this feature, edit and continue, on this show pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm always like, let's see what we can do without stopping. Well, because I love it.
Absolutely. Right? Well, if aside from anything else, as we keep mentioning, edit and continue allows you to have memory state, i.e. the state of the actual live data as it has been manipulated up to this point, which gives you a much better contextual idea of what is going on as the code runs, because the code is running.
Right, and it also gets you, for me at least the way I work, I like getting to the point of like, okay, yes, that can be confirmed. Now let's move to the next step. As opposed to write encode, 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 and then we're going to check that everything works. And along the way, something doesn't. We're like, wait, what? Oh, it's the first rung of the ladder is broken. Let's go fix that. All right, so there's toggle ready roll dice. After this, I want to call something very similar to this line of code right here. Go to the Hubtastic base station. And I had this at the very bottom too, because I was anticipating I'd want to get something similar to that. I'm going to put its own method. So we're going to call this update player state. Like that. And I think I called it change player state. Stats. Oh, the stat wasn't a mistake. It was stat, not state, but that's okay. We're going to change it.
Interesting.
Since I'm not running yet, we're going to change this to state. Like that. Would you want to say, Rory? You sound like you want to say something.
Well, it's interesting. If it was previously change player stat, that suggests one individual fact, whereas state potentially is an array of facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or certainly a sequence of, if not an array.
So I'm going to send all player states down. That's what I'm going to send. We're going to call update player state from here. I don't think I'm going to mess with the inner workings. So, I call it stats here. Okay, let's go back.
All the variations of the same concept.
We're going to change it to stats now. While I'm here,
got to be careful at this stage, because it might seem that way, but is there any possibility that we actually do have this there with that other name for a different purpose?
No.
No?
No possibility. Okay. Roy, we don't have time to ask these kinds of questions.
Sure, fair enough.
Stats. Okay, let's call this player stats, like that. Okay, that's what we've got. Now that I've changed these, though, let's go down over into TypeScript and change the same thing. We're going to say, there's player stats. Let's go find, we got to declare this class down in TypeScript. All player stats, and that's going to have maybe a command. It's mainly going to have the players list. I'll copy all of these. I don't know. I really don't know. I think command I'll use, but I'm just not sure about data yet. Okay, so we need a property of type string called command. We get the one of data in here as well. And we're going to have something called players. It's a new array of something. Do I have that ability? Yeah, it looks like I have that ability. Players. Player stats. That's what I want it to be. Player stats without an S right there. Okay. I think that's it. So that's going to be our data that's going to come down. Doesn't like empty constructors. Fine. I'll take out those empty constructors. Next, we need somebody to hold on to these. Actually, let's see what we've got here. The Dragon Front game is going to be showing them. Here's where the command comes in. Let's do this. Let's just send this out. All right, I think that's it. Whoops, hold on. I'm also doing this when I see on screen issues from the hints. I'm changing them so we get rid of these.
Okay.
Yeah, this hint about constants has blown my mind. It's changed how I think about constants. Right? I often think, well, this is a variable I'm going to... Uh-oh, what happened here? Oh, wait, hold on. Okay.
There was a presumption of something slightly different. I guess that's the
that was
obvious type.
That was what it was. And there's one down here. Okay.
You're saying it's changed how you feel about constants. In what way has your mind changed there?
Well, I always thought about constants. Whenever I thought about constants, is something that could never, that always must. If I use the word constant, it must always be this value.
Okay.
But if I was going to use a temporary variable and assign it a value but never change it, I never thought that's a constant. It's just currently what the thing is. So for example, this would always be a variable to me, player X, even though we get it right here. Even in a loop, a for loop, I would do this, right? And it's wild to say, let's make it a constant, where the first time through the loop it's one thing, and the second time it's another thing, right? It's just changed how I feel about, you know, what I think of a constant as. That's what's happened, and so I'm wrapping my head around it. I'm going with it for now.
Okay. Sure.
So I also I have mixed feelings about this, right here, right?
Yeah.
This. The reason
the obviousness test, as it were.
Yeah. I do, because now I have an inconsistency in the language in terms of how I'm declaring something. I'm wrapping my head around this. Because also from a tooling perspective, how do I know which one to give you when you say you want to create a new string? Right? Maybe there's a code rush option that if I'm here and I hit enter, it sees this and turns it to that. It sees this when I hit enter, it turns it to that. Right there on the line.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a code rush option. Yeah, here we go. Look, player ID is never reassigned. Use constant instead. This is mind-blowing to me. For each iteration, this is a constant, but it's different for each iteration. Do you see that?
Because the variable is redeclared inside.
Inside
That's
each time it does
weird.
through the loop. Oh, so you agree? Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am.
Well, it's apart from. I'll tell you what it is. It's because I'm used to the idea of var being something. What's the term? Lifted or elevated? Basically, if you don't do it as a let, it's actually declared at the top of the current scope.
Yeah, I think that's true.
In reality, and it lasts therefore longer than the current scope or the for loop that you happen to be. So if you move it into a let, then that changes it. So actually, this is the point at which it's declared. I mean, realistically, this all goes to JavaScript anyway, so it's a little bit weird. I'm not sure what the under the hood would be doing here. Yeah, it is strange. I guess I have this innate fear that it would otherwise be reused. Wouldn't really matter because I'm still reassigning it. Whereas now, it's very definitely not being reused, I guess. It's a little strange. I'm with you.
It's a little strange. I started a feature chat so I could hit a couple buttons, log in, and do that. Right there, Coding Gorilla.
Hoisted, that's the term.
Yeah, oh, look at this. Firepower comes in with something similar to my perspective on this. Const is a little weird. It's not really a constant like in other languages per se. Mainly, it's just within this block of code, this variable will not be redefined. Kind of, but in the loop, it actually is, right? What's a block of code? It gives you the developer insight into whether later in the block of code, if the variable will be changing from what you're setting it to. And I totally agree with the last part and the value there. There's the value there. But like I say, it's not how I thought about constants up to this point in time. It's really, it's a twist. And my mind is open to leaning in and seeing how that works and going with it. Same thing here, use constant instead here. Okay, so we have got somewhere up here we have the code we wrote. I don't know where it is. Let's go back and write further with stats. Here. So we're going to console log that stat data out. So that feels good. Let's go over here. Let's run. And thanks, Firepower, for that comment. All right, we're up and running. I don't think I need to initialize player data. I think I can skip past that and just hit the button. Let's hit the button. So I'm going to hit the one for lady. And so we get the L, the player ID. She is ID 0, I think. That's probably true. And we've added that that state there called this. So that means that if we go to all player stats, we should see one entry, player, whoops, here we go. And inside player, we should see ready to roll dice is now true, whereas before it defaulted to false. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
part A works. Let's run it. To test part B, we need to be able to see the console log. So let's go in here. Let's open up the Dragon front overlay. Hit the key again. This time I'll do little cutie. Let's just check the player ID here. It's 3. Okay. And now we should see over here, there should be in the console log, there should be 2. I'm seeing this. Oh, here it is right here.
There it is. Yep. And there are indeed 2.
And they're both true. And there's the player ID.
0 and 3.
Right there. 0 and 3. Okay?
Yeah.
What do I want? That's what I want. Control Shift. Okay. So that's good. The data is coming down. All right. Down below. Okay, so now what we need to do, let's work down below in TypeScript for a little bit. We next need to do essentially a JSON parse on this. And that's what I'm calling it? No. All player stats is what I want it to be. I'm going to call this all player stats. So this is our parsed one. But locally, let's rename this. I'm going to call this DTO. I'm just differentiating between locally. No, let's not. Hold on. I got a better idea. It's a little tricky what I'm about to do. But the thing is this, is when I deserialize from JSON, it gives me all the data in something that looks just like the real class. But I won't be able to call any methods on it. So what I need to do is deserialize, get it in the state, and then I'm going to use that to create a new one that's going to actually be able to create methods on. So what I want to do is this, is I want to say this is equal to new all player stats passing in that DTO. That's what I want to do.
Fair enough.
First time I've done this. Let's declare that. Can I declare it here? Nope, it doesn't allow me to do that. What's going on here? Expected 0 arguments. Okay. All right, fine. So let's create the constructor. I guess I just have to manually create the constructor. Do I have a CC template in here? Oh, I don't. Can you send me a note, Rory?
Yep.
And then we're going to bring in all player stats. The DTO should probably be an interface, not a class. I might consider that. Firepower. But then I have to kind of double up everything, and the advantage to this, I'm trying to talk. Oh, this is a nice iceberg though, isn't it?
That is nice.
Who's that flying up here?
Well,
that looks
it was
like
flying.
a horrific accident. I hope they had an airbag in there. Oh, it's Frackberg. Frackberg, welcome. Mr. Rush, you look like you need some ice. I did. Mr. Natsky here says, here's some ice for your drink. Frackberg. So I'm I'm weighing back and forth, Firepower, about the advantages versus the cost of it. And part of me is saying, well, I just want to make this simple and work. I think the advantage to the interface is it's more explicit, and it explains what the mystery is happening inside this constructor that I'm about to write. But I also feel like I can explain it by putting the word DTO here for the name of the variable, and I've solved the whole problem. So, like, let me show you where I want to go with this, and see if you like it, and if you hate it, that's okay. I'm just not sure if I'm going to change it or not.
Mark, you've currently got a class all player stats that takes a parameter in its constructor of all player stats.
Yeah.
It's a recursive reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Its own type is itself.
Wait. With an interface, you don't need those JSON parse constructors, but you also won't get prototype functions either. Wait, you tell me I can just pass a string?
I think what he's saying is you can cast a JSON object to an interface and access it as if it actually had official members, data-wise.
Yeah, but it's not a JSON object, it's a string when it's coming in. I'll explain this in a second, Rory. I know this is a little bit like, what are you doing? But are you telling me I can, when an interface, I can pass a string to an interface and it'll figures out it's a JSON and it'll undo it? Yeah. No, I get that, Coding Gorilla. Let me show you where I'm going with this. No, you still need the JSON parse.
He's saying you still need JSON parse.
Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I know this is... The thing I'm parsing is a string, Rory. I've got no prototype functions on it. I can't call any methods on it.
Yes.
Okay? But it's got the data.
Yes.
But once I come back from this, I will be able to call data on it. So I'm passing the DTO in, saying it's the same type, so I can just do this transfer. See what I'm doing? Like this. This is going to come in here. This is going to be on data, like that. See it? And then I want to come in and I want to, I guess I got a new instance. Do I have a new instance template down here? I also don't have that. Well, because it's this is what it is. Players is equal to this. And then I want to go through all the players here. Oh, sorry, this.players. And then I want to go, I know. Just see where we get and see if we ended up liking it or hating it. I'm going to be okay. I'm actually going to be comfortable if everybody hates it. And I'm going to keep going because my goal here is not to make people like the code right now. My goal is to get everything done before the family gets back. That's my goal. Yeah, Coding Gorilla. Yeah. Coding Gorilla is just helping out. Coding Gorilla is like the nicest guy whose voice I haven't heard yet. Roy, you are the nicest guy whose voice I have heard.
Watch Mark, see, covering himself in all angles there. Well done.
.players.length, sorry. Like that. And then we're going to say this.players.push new player stats of this thing we're passing in. See what's happening? Because I want to be able to add methods to this at some point in time.
Right, so my only thing there is that as and when you decide to add methods to the all player stats, they will appear to be on the incoming value to the constructor, but in reality they won't be.
Yeah, I'll never call them on the incoming structure though. The reason why is because what I'm doing here is I'm doing this, and now I run with this real instance object, right?
So what I'm getting the feeling that coding... I think Coding Gorilla and Firepower are alluding to the idea of having an interface with those same properties on it, which all player stats inherits from, and the constructor variable is typed of.
Oh, okay.
So you get the benefits of both.
Yeah.
But without the misleading idea that you might be able to call the methods on the incoming data.
I get it. Okay, I'm going. I guess I'm going there. I'm going. I'm just like, oh, come on, man. Yeah, no, I'm not going there. But you can see, we all agree that's maybe the right way to go. I'm not going to do it. So now we need a constructor up here as well. And inside this constructor, we need to bring in the player stats. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to say this dot player ID is equal to that dot player ID.
So there's a crazier version of what we've been discussing here.
Yeah.
You can declare an interface.
Okay, firepower just slammed me. Hold on. Hold on, Rory. I can't go any further on this path. Firepower got me. I can't. He's right. He or she is right. You got me, Firepower. I am like, you're right. I can't argue with that.
I got to have someone from the chat room confirm or deny this next bit of logic.
All right, what do you got?
Normally, what we would do is we would define an interface with those 3 properties on it, have the class inherit from it, and naturally it would be the type of the value passed to the constructor. If I remember correctly, and there is a serious chance I've got this wrong, you can have that interface extend or implement, basically you can do what looks like a recursive exercise. The class inherits from the interface, but the interface also inherits from the class. And the act of doing that says, actually, my interface just wants to have the shape of that class and none of the implementational issues. Thus, you don't need to write the phrase command, data, and players in 2 locations, only in 1.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I like that. But right now I'm going to go do that because, I'm doing it now. All right, so we're going to do this. What's the syntax for inheriting from an interface? Roy, can you also
extends?
Thanks. That's what it is. Yeah, I think that's it. No, it's not liking it.
Implements interface. My bad. Extends is class inheritance.
It's a nice hint, though. Look at that. All right, so it implements that. Okay, that means we're coming in here like this. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Firepower, how are you doing? Firepower. Oh, yeah, Firepower helped out already. Right there. Coding Gorilla. Look at you guys. It's sadly extra work. Yeah, I know. But you got, look.
So the horrible version I was alluding to allows you to take out the ready-to-roll dice boolean and the player ID number from the interface and just declare that the interface extends the class.
I'm scared of that, though.
I know. I've seen it in use once, and I looked at it so many times going, what is that trying to do?
All right, so now we're going to do
It's not intuitive.
Yeah, but what are we going to do on this one, though? Is this going to be player stats? I don't know. Can we do this? I guess we could do that. But then we can't call functions on it, though. See, here's the problem a little bit, right? We still get into a problem when we're getting down here. Wait, where is it? Is it here? New player stats? No,
I think you can stay player stats and
we're okay.
buy all player stats, maybe.
Players, all player stats. All right, so we got to go implement this. All players.
Yeah, that's it.
All player stats. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about. Well, I don't know. If we're saying the arguing of the, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it because I got code to write. We got to do this quickly. Okay, so all player stats. There we go. So we've got player stats, IL player stats. Now this is going to come in as an I. Okay, I hope Firepower is good for the day now. I hope Firepower is like, all right, I'm feeling better.
We promised we were doing nothing right this time so that we get it done on time, and here we are going back and doing stuff right.
You're right. You're right. Okay, so what have you? Oh, hey, look, I always wanted to be famous.
Look at that. Now, can I get to that quicker than Coding Gorilla? Because that's not likely.
I want to be famous so badly. I'm not even bothered pronouncing your name yet. If you want to become famous, he's gone. I just wanted to talk to him. You guys never let me. My wife's the same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, I just inherited a lot of money from a prince from Nigeria. My wife is always like reaching for the delete button. Hey, who's that? What's going on? Is that Jetsam?
He's in the house.
That's Jetsam,
Truck in
kids.
the skies, keeping us all safe.
Jetsam says, wow, that was fast. Doc Mark, Jetsam is flying low again. Okay, let's try it. Now that we've gone all of here, let's see if I can recover. Pushing the new player stat. Looks like we didn't finish this. Player ID is there. Then we're going to go to ready. Roll dice is there. Okay, and I think we're good. So now that's our constructor. So that means we've got this. Okay. Call that new player stats. I'm going to also create a field up here called existing player stats. Get rid of that let here in a sec. There it is right there. And
as opposed to that other great variable, non-existing player stats.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just messing with you, Mark. Don't worry.
We'll just do that. Player stats. Okay, now we want to see what's changed, I think. And so what we want to do is this. We want to go to the new player stats. And we want to run through it. And go through each player. Well, I think we want to act on the command, actually. In fairness. What do we got here? Firepower's coming in. Firepower! Do you understand the premise of today's show? We're working so hard and fast to try to get stuff in before the family comes back because they're going to stop me. Just food for thought. You may want to instead move your object deserialization to a deserialized method. So you can also create empty objects too. So like new player stats.
So plausibly a static method deserialize, which then instances your actual object.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
Than passing to the constructor.
I'm actually on my way to do it. We're going to get there. I think I will do that for sure. Because I also need to create something similar to this. But guess what? I was in that same process. I was running through simulations in my head, and I went to realize that, oh, all player stats, I really don't need this commander data.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take them out. I think I'm taking them out. That's what I think I'm doing. No, but then I've got, oh shoot. Because it's really not command, it's latest command. That's the latest one that came in. I'm going to do this. That's what I'll do. Latest command, latest data. Okay, so, oh yeah, we were talking about the optional, make it a deserialize on it. Okay, I'm down. I'm down for that. Let's do it. What am I doing wrong with my declaration here?
Void doesn't go there. That's C#. You're dealing with.
Oh, you're right. It goes
void
at the
is
end.
the final piece. Yeah.
There we go. All right. Good, good, good. No void at the front. Coding Gorilla got it in. Okay, so we're going to say this. There's my deserialize call. We can just get rid of this and this. Maybe do that. Well, we're really trying to focus right now. He doesn't seem to listen. He doesn't seem to care. Who is he? He's Pudding, kids.
Hey, Pudding.
Mystic Soda says rip screen.
Almost in a groove.
Yeah. I got like, it's interesting. Stream Deck isn't showing me the total count of folks out there right now. It's showing me like an old count number. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, so we've been like fiddling around with this set of classes for a while, but we are almost there. There's my empty constructor. I guess I don't need that theoretically anymore. Now I'm going to do this. Here comes our deserialize, right? Firepower's like, I love this show.
Well, if you do what Firepower says and return this as well, because otherwise nothing gets assigned to new player stats.
Oh, duh. That would be duh. Perfect. I love my pair of programmers today, kids. You guys are rocking.
The chat room is on fire!
Made that for you kids. Okay, should do a disclaimer at this point, I think, too.
Brute force and ignorance!
That's how we're running the show.
All the way.
All the way through brute force and ignorance. Okay, so here we're going. What are we doing here? Change the player sets. I wanted to go with the. Let's go figure out the latest command, and we want to say this dot execute. What is my problem here? What is this? Type void. That's not a type void. Oh, it is. Sorry.
Yes, sorry, I just mentioned that at the time. We can't return. We're returning something it really shouldn't be of return type of void.
There we go. Now we're going to say this dot. No, I want to say this dot. What do I have? I have a variable I just added here, didn't I? Player stats.
Player stats.
Dot. Handle command. And we're going to pass in. Yeah, this is where it's like, oh yeah, how do I get to the access to the command? It's like I've got this. It's really I'm squishy about this. I mean, it's convenient. I've got this, but now that means my player stats will have it as well. It's like this weird thing. I'm going to do it for now, but I'm just feeling squishy. This wants to be a constant. And let's declare that. Dive into it. Okay, so to make me less squishy, instead of ignoring this data, I'm going to assign this to the actual properties here in this version of it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Firepower's not following. Firepower's like, I will get you, Mark Miller. I will. I'm going to make sure your code is really good. You're right. You're right. Oh, best of luck. I'm off for a work meeting. Okay, Firepower. Thanks so much for your help. He's like, you can't get it with skill, so best of luck to you, Mark. Best of luck. Okay. He probably wasn't saying that. Yeah, we'll see what Firepower comes back with. Okay, so let's see. This is going to be this, I think. That's if I want to do something. Let's see what the command is that we're sending down. Update player state. Oh, man. I know how to fix this, but I think I'm not going to fix it for now. Because it's going to involve, I've got to restart everything to do this, including the overlays that are running right now.
Right.
But the solution, it's like I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit, but the solution is to add the two parameters that I command in data to the signal R command and send it down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do. I'll fix that later. Let me add a to-do here from on my to-do list here. All right, I'm going to fix that later. Okay, so for now we'll continue to do that. That means that when we update the player state, we're going to say all player stats dot command. We're going to set it here. Say update. That's it. And I'm not going to send any data over. I think I'm going to end up losing data. We're not going to need it. The breakpoint there. Let's just get to the breakpoint. So it compiles. There we go. Good. Got the update method coming across. That means we come over here. We should see that. There it is right there. Command is update. Got the players there. Those are the players we know of. Okay, next we need to compare. We need to compare what the state we have with the new state coming in. Any changes we need to take action on. So let's build the code to do that right now. So we're going through all the players. Let me change this to this. Excuse me. All right. Okay. This most recent player stats right there. Then I want to say here's where that function calling is going to be useful. I'm going to say get player by ID, like that. Players of I dot player ID. This is going to be a player stat that's going to come back. This is our reference. I think I'm going to call it just this right here. Oops. Most recent player stat. All right, let's declare that. Okay, so it may not be clear, but what's happening is when I'm here calling get player stat by ID, I'm doing it in the most recent player stats, the data we're sending down from the C# app. Okay. Even though I'm writing it right next to the one that's going to be handling it. When we run this, it'll be happening in two different instances. We'll be in instance A here, and then when we jump to here, it'll be in instance B that will be running that. So the code's going to look very similar. So I just want to point that out because I was confused as well for a moment as I was envisioning it. Wait, what's happening? And once I unraveled that, I thought, oh, okay, good to know. Looks like I've got this wrong. I'm totally confusing C# syntax with JavaScript. What's happening here? Oh, player stat. Is that it? No, it's stats. Player stats. What's my problem here? Void is not assignable. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm just getting there, guys. Okay, player stats. Yeah, okay. And then I want to say players of I dot player ID. Then we're going to return players of I. Otherwise, we're going to return null down here. Okay, that is now done. Get player stat get player stats. Make that plural right here. So we're consistent with the file name, with the class name rather. Now, if we got something here, then we're going to say this. I think I'm going to do handle. No, we're going to say this dot players. I think that's where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put in players. I call the handle command. And we're going to pass in the most recent player stat, as well as the latest command, data in the latest command. I think that's part of it. Now, if there's nothing found, right? In other words, no, it depends on the command. But I think the very, depending, so at this point, the data sent excludes one of the players we are tracking. Remove it if the command says to do so. So we might, for example, on an initialization, send no players over, I guess. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's plausible.
Also, I want to throw a to-do right here that says, oh, look for new players. Where we want to kind of do the opposite of this. We want to do some code down here that goes, I just want to swap this with this. What's my problem here? What's going on down here? I got all kinds of problems here. Oh, is it this colon?
It should be okay. You need to return, or you need to state what it is you're returning. Oh, it's lack of closing the method above. You've only closed the loop, or sorry, you've not closed the loop and only closed the method.
It's right there. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was a loop for it. I didn't find it. Okay, good. All right. Okay. So we're going through here again. This is const. Okay, so now I want to see in the most recent, if we have, whoops, it's this piece right here. Okay, that goes there. So we're checking to see if a player ID sent down is not here locally.
Mm-hmm.
Existing player stats. And if it's not, then we're going to add it. In fact, I almost think we should do this at first.
Right, because if you're adding somebody, you then might want to process them afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I think we should do. Do you have to go, Rory?
I am sadly reaching that point in the day.
Okay.
Very sad. Very sad.
That's all right.
Horribly sad.
We get everybody rush for it.
Cheers, guys.
See you, Rory.
I mean...
I think we should do
A guy could get slightly disheartened about that, except of course I got there first, so it doesn't really work.
That's just their way of honoring you, Roy. That's what we should, for real, like, you know, someday when, you know, all this... Sorry, I gotta dance again. Retro CRT is with us. Welcome.
All right. I will high five Retro CRT on my way out, and I will catch you tomorrow.
All right, Roy. Thanks so much. Talk to you
See
later.
you soon. Bye.
What are we at here? That's const. Okay. So if we don't, not here, then let's add it. So we're going to say this dot players dot push new player stats, and we're going to pass in the data from this guy right here. Cool. And I think we're dead. So we're going to add. I'm going to extract this into its own function, and we're going to call this add missing players, and then we're going to call this I think I want to duplicate this. Hold on. I want to break these two into two different things, like this and this. Okay. This is going to be handle command. Handle command for existing players. And this one is going to be clean up non-existent players, I suppose. Like that. So now we have some nice symmetry, and it's easier to read this. So now handle command for existing players is there, and then we've got to declare handle command. Is this too low level? I think it is. I'm going to back out of this a second. I'm going to do it up here in the stat manager instead. So I'm going to say handle command, and we're going to call this handle player command, handle command for player. That's what I'm going to do. I'll pop it up here. Their stats are coming in, the command is coming in, the data is coming in, and the compare player stat is coming in. Okay. Now we're getting into some where we can actually start writing something cool. The command we're sending down, I think, is what? Update? Okay. So I'm going to say if this dot, no, let's do a switch on command, I think. And then we're going to say this dot update player. I imagine there'll be other commands like remove or add or something like that, maybe, but I guess it depends on how intelligent we make this. We could make it so that it just simply, we send change data and it down here figures out what to do based on the change. I'm leaning in that direction. But we're going to say update player. There's the player stats coming in. I think I want all of this. Yeah, again, data. I think I'm going to be getting rid of data. Like that. So that. Okay, so now here's the update. We're in the update piece right here. If player stats dot ready to roll dice. Finally, we're working with this data, right? This shouldn't be compare. This should be like latest or most recent. Using the latest. No, let's do it here too. Let's be consistent. And then let's use it here. Okay. So if ready to roll dice and no, let's do it this way. If this is not equal to that, then we have a change in the dice ready to roll state. We'll assign it. Oops, hold on. I picked the wrong one. Then we're going to say player stats at ready to roll dice is equal to ready to roll dice. And then we want to say if we're ready to roll the dice, then we want to call this dot show ready to roll dice. For those player stats. Or maybe just grab the player ID. I think it's going to look like that. And then otherwise, what's happening here? Otherwise, we're going to say, oh no, that one I want right there. Hide ready to roll dice. Like that. Getting close. So player ID is coming in. How do I, where is it? Dragon front game. There's something called get player X. Oh, sorry. Cleaning up this code. Just Just making a habit of doing this every time I see something on screen. Okay, so I need the Dragon game. The Dragon game's got two methods I need to be able to figure out where to put the animation. So what that means is I need to pass it down. That's what I need to do. So right here, Dragon front game, I need to pass down this. And what I might do is let's create an interface for this, because I really just need these two pieces here. That's I get player X. Then at the Dragon game, I'm going to add implements that. Okay, so there's I get player X is coming in. We're going to then going to handle command. Getting there. Okay, here's show ready to roll dice. Hide ready to roll dice. We're going to put here. I don't think we need the get player X for this. I don't think we need it. Nightmare Joker 2 is following. Thank goodness you're here, Nightmare Joker 2. I've been so sick of only Nightmare Joker 1 following us this whole time. And I'm like, where's number 2? I just totally, that sounds like such an insult. I'm sorry. He's going to be like, unfollow, unfollow, unfollow. I meant to be funny, but clearly that failed. Apologies, kids. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. I will, coding gorilla, thank you. We'll try to get back to the code here. We'll try and stay focused here. Okay, so show the dice. Now, this is where we need to do the animation. To do the animation, I need to do a couple things. I need to load up the animation from file. I need to draw it. And I need to update it. So this is this all player stats class right here. We go back, let's handle the drawing integration codes first. If we come over to the Dragon front game, here's where it is. So up here in the Dragon front game, I'm going to go find the update. Let's look only in this file. Whoops. Update screen. trying to figure out where I want to put this in order, Z order. I think I'm going to put it on top of the blood effects, but behind the other effects, so that if a spell is cast, they would show up in front of it. So I'm going to come in here and say this dot player stats dot draw. So it's going to be able to draw its stuff. Pass in context, and now that's piece one. I need to update when we update. So I'm going to go this dot player stats dot update. Pass in the timestamp. And I think those are the two pieces I need. So let's declare that. And let's declare this. Okay, so now we've got our drawing and our basic updating pieces here. Next, we need to create a some sprites here to hold the imagery. Ready to roll. Okay. Hear me okay? Yes. I think we are. Okay, there's one more I need to do, and that's I need to load the resources at the right time. Let's our resources function in here. Load resources. That's what I want. I'm just going to call player stats.load resources. Okay, let's declare that. All right, cool. So now we've got load resources, draw, and update. Those are the pieces we need. Just borrow some of this code here as an example. Let's take care of our load resources first. So we need to create, what was the sprite I declared up at the top? It was called Ready to Roll. Ready to Roll Dragon. So we're going to get this. I don't think I need a name for it. Get the path right. Full Dragon is the name of this guy. There are 29 frames. FPS 30, the animation style is looped. And we are padding the file index. That just means I'm putting zeros in front of these right here, 0001, that sort of thing. Okay, that is the dragon. We need to figure out its origin X and Y. To do that, I can double click on it and open it up in an image editor. And now I can just come in here and find a place that I decide is the origin. I think I'm going to go right in here where the abdomen is. Abdomen. How am I, like, every time I say it, it's not sounding right to me. Am I stroking out on you guys right now? Things get really bad. the code gets really bad, somebody, you know, somebody calls someone for me. All right, I'm looking at the bottom right down here. It looks like it's 281 by 265. So, 281, 265. Now, things get a little tricky here because these are all resized here. The hands, for example, we need to get the hands. The hands are in a slightly different place. The good news is that the tool that we wrote to crop for us puts a little text file out here that tells us how much it took off. So these all started the same size. And then I cropped them based on what was needed using this tool. And so we can just see the differences here between these two. I suppose I'll just open these up and grab them here. So that's dye dark, dark dye, 251, 257. Dragon hands. Okay, dragon hands is there. Full dragon, we need that just so we can understand the differences here. Dark hands, we need the dye light. These might be the same, they're probably pretty close. All right, yeah, I'm going to bring up Excel, or not Excel, Google Sheets. And we're going to dragon full dot left. $19 and dragon full dot top was 22. I want to. We're calculating the origin X and the origin Y. Desrin39 is following. Thanks for that follow, Desrin. Appreciate it. Now I want to get these other pieces in here. So let's start with dye dark first. We're going to call it dark dye so it matches the file name. I think I want to change this. Yeah, I like using spreadsheets to visualize, especially when I have several of the same operation to do in a row. I think it just makes it easier to get these constants we need to make this work. All right, so the dark dye, the left is 251, and the top is 257. Now we need to figure out the deltas between these two on this. The origin X and Y for this, we're going to hard code. So this first column is hard coded. The rest are all calculated. So we said the origin for that is 281. The origin Y was 265. All right, down here, this is going to be equal to the distance between this and that plus the one above it. Also, let me just edit this a second. It's actually the B2 and D2 are hard-coded. Like that. Like that. This one is similar, but instead of it being B, that's going to be C, that's going to be C, and that's going to be E. Like that. And we're just going to take that calculation and drop it down here. And then now these are going to give us our constants, so we don't have to figure this out. The other thing that I like about this is once you know you've got one right, you know all the other, you're still doing the math in your head, it's just going to work all the way through. So the light dye is next, 254 and 60. I think I said 60, but it's 260, right? Yep. I'm going to say dragon hands. $259, 265. And full dragon is the, oh wait, full dragon is the one we started with. So those are the only three we have to calculate, just those three. So we just need those. Okay. So these are constants right here for the next pieces right here. So we've got ready to roll dragon. Light dye. Dark dye. And dragon hands. Okay, come back over here. Light dye has got 29 frames of animation as well. Okay, 30 frames a second, looping. True. The light dye is going to be 516, 503. Okay. Dark dye. Dark dye is 513, 500. Dragon hands is the last one. Dragon hands also for 29 frames. And dragon hands are 521, 508. Okay. All right, we'll keep that comment here. So this loads the resources up. I think I'm going to create a sprites collection to manage these. It's a little easier to do the painting and the drawing if I do that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to say ready to roll sprites collection. I don't know, it's getting wordy. Is it sprite collection? Yeah, okay. We're going to do that. Okay. Next, we need to, when it's time to paint in the draw, we need to go draw those. So I'm going to go in here, call draw, pass in the context, and the time. And similarly, we need to go in here and say, call update. Update positions, passing in the timestamp. Let's go back up here. I want to do one other thing. I want to create a method that does these because I have a feeling we're going to move these guys. Yeah. We call this create ready to roll sprites and what was this? The first one wasn't the light die, it was the ready to roll dragon. Denver's Corners Live is now following. Thanks for that follow. Glad to have you with us. Okay, we want to create a new sprites variable here. Okay. File name we don't want to pass in. All of these have the same frame rates, same number of frames, same animation style. Let's bring in origin X. And let's bring in origin Y. We're going to set those here and here, respectively. Got the file name of that one. I deleted that. No worries, I'll get it back. This one's going to be 281. That first file name is Full Dragon. Okay, so that's going to simplify the code down here, and it allows me to do anything else inside here that I want to do. For example, the direction I was heading is I want to set its moves to true. But I also want to disable gravity on it. I want to do both of those. Because we want to be able to have it go through like some eased in animation where the dragon kind of flies up into position. And later, at the right time when they roll the dice, I want the die to drop out of the hands, of the claws, the talons of the dragon, and fall at a rate equal to gravity. But before I can do that, I have to disable gravity on the whole sprites on the whole, and then later what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate it by creating an individual thrust for that die sprite that sends it down at 9.8 meters a second. That's kind of the plan. So I just wanted to do this for all those others, so I just want to simplify that code. Interested in adding real physics to the dice roll. I already have real physics on the dice rolls. Not on what I'm about to draw, I'm not going to do that, but we have essentially real physics there. Right? Here, let's go in, do a skill check, history skill check. Why is it rolling? It's this first time bug for this. What can I do? Here's a... Nothing's running out here. What's going on? Created a new bug here somewhere. I have an initialized player, that's probably why. I mean, like, not them only bouncing against the walls. No, look, I've got it. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I have that here. Okay, here we go. Let's go roll, do the chaos bolt test here. The dice, that's all real. It's using canon.js to calculate the bounces and all of that. Die rolls are good. So I'm not sure. We might have been talking about something else. Maybe. That's maybe what we were talking about. Let's close that up. Wait, so what did you mention the other day about the physics? Now I'm trying to recall. I don't know, Pudding. I'm not, nothing's coming to mind in terms of what I was thinking about with physics on it. It might have been something new. But the die roll, definitely, the existing die roll already has got a physics engine set up there. So let's simplify the rest of these. This one is going to become light die. This one changed. Something change. This becomes light die. And this is 516, 503. I think it was something about the physics. I should have just clipped that. I'm not sure. Okay, there's that light die. Let's get the dark die in there. Why are you changing die to hands? Don't do that. Stop doing that. No option to do that. Dark die is there, and that is going to be at 513, comma 500. And this one is going to be the dragon hands. Dragon hands is at 521. and 508. So if all of that math is correct, and I didn't make any mistakes along the lines here, this should create a kind of a seamless overlay here. Let me change ready to roll dragon. No, I think I'm going to keep it. Hold on. Let's rename this. Ready to roll light die. Ready to roll dark die. Ready to roll dragon hands. And let's see, the order in which I add these is the order in which they should draw. So the full dragon is in the back. Then the die, one of the two will go next, and then the hands. Okay, those load resources looks good. I think we did the draw already, and we did the update. I think we might, are we ready to start yet? There's a point of adding. We haven't added the sprites yet. Show ready to roll dice. Okay, so here's where we want to come in and say this dot ready to roll full dragon dot add shifted. We need to figure out its X. We can thankfully go in here and we can get the player index first, which is what we need, and the player ID. And then we need, that gives us the X position then that we can get. Passing in the player index here. There we go. Now we're going to add shifted player X. The Y position, I'm going to throw it just for now at about 900. And the hue shift, I'm going to say, I'm going to go into random dot max of 360. So if I just do that alone, I think we're going to see the dragon. Ruben 258 says, "Hey Mark, thanks for uploading your streams to YouTube. Big fan of your WPF content." Well, thank you. Try, you know, we try to do something good. That's going to create just the dragon. Should be like, if we hit it from my button, it should be right above me. I think I'm like, let's try it on the stream. You know, we've done so much coding, there's probably going to be a problem. And I'm actually a little pessimistic that's going to work, but let's try it on the stream first. And if we see nothing working, we'll go figure it out. So I'm going to say initialize player data. Wait. Actually, that I think is not going to work. I was expecting to see. We may already have a problem. Let's refresh this, see if we have anything in the console. Load resources of undefined. Player stats. Okay. Try that. Refresh. Better. No problems. I will try it here since we're here. Let's initialize player data. Actually, I want to refresh it on the live stream as well. Now initialize player data. Let's get the stream deck ready. Okay, I'm going to click this button right here. That should throw a dragon right up above me if it all works. Nothing happened. What do we got here? Player ID of undefined. We didn't follow the, hold on. Okay, I think that's fixed by just following the same deserialized pattern we used below. Well, also I haven't saved here. That's also important. That's going to kind of be a big deal. Let's go find that though, and let's implement the same pattern here. It's interesting that we should never actually get null according to this, but you know what? I'm gonna follow the same pattern just in case. So here we're going to change this to new. Then I'm going to say called deserialize. That's the pattern we're going to use. Okay, let's go declare. I can't declare it. I wonder why it's not. Oh, got a problem with the arguments here. Like that. Turn player stats. All right, there's the pattern. I'm not sure this is going to fix it. I feel like there's an empty piece inside here. I guess we could also do this. We could simply say this. Hey, if that thing is just as some defensive programming, you can just get out. I don't know. I'm kind of playing with that. See what happens when we refresh this. We're in console. Initialize player data. Okay, hit the button. Got an update. I don't see any dragon flying. All right, let's. I don't know if I want to step through the code if I want to use console log. I think I want to console log this, maybe. I wonder if we haven't set the data. Let's do this. Console log ready to roll dice have changed. So maybe we'll just do this. Just send that out. So we can, whoops, not that. Like that. Let's do that. Refresh over here. Initialize player data. Send over the data. Okay, so it is true. Player ID 3 says they're now ready to roll the dice. So we're getting here. Show ready to roll dice. Am I calling draw here? I am. I guess I'm just going to Let's do a console log here just to verify we're getting in the draw call. Why don't we see the dragon? I'm totally expecting to see that. Let's refresh it one more time. Okay. There it is. We're getting in it. Now you're going to hit it, and we're still getting the call. What am I missing? Sprite collection is calling in to its draw. Did we in fact verify that load resources is being called? It kind of seems like it must be getting called. Let's refresh again. There it is right there. So it's getting called. Okay. So player X is. We know that one is being called. Okay, so right now we just got player X. Okay, initialize player data. All right, now let's hit the button. Interesting. So we're not getting show ready to roll dice. So that's ready to roll dice. Well, it's true. If I hit it again, will it be false? Oh, yeah, there it is right there. That one's true. Wait, are we not getting out to update player? Maybe that's my problem. Could it be, well, add missing players is here, so then we should have that existing player. Okay. Let's hit the button. Command undefined. Here. Have a command. This dot latest command. Third parameter. Is my problem up here? Is this why? Because it's called command instead of latest command. That's what it is, kids. I think that's the problem. We have to keep these two classes in sync so the JSON serialization can link up and connect the properties together. So all player stats in C#, they have to have the same name. So latest command, latest data, all that was going great until I came in here and I renamed this from command to latest command and from data to latest data. So now we should be in better shape. Serialization should be able to take all of that across there. Okay. Thanks so much, Coding Gorilla. All right, let's do a rerun of this app. So cool. If this works, that's going to be a little bit of a relief there. Because I was like, what? You know, I felt like we had concentrated pretty hard to get all that code out. We should have gotten better results than that. Initialize player data. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking about when I was talking about the physics. I think it was something else I was joking about. Okay, let's go back over here. I think we're going to see a dragon now. I'm hitting it. Command is update. Still no dragon. Ready to roll dice is true. Why no dragon? Over here, your stats, roll dice. Oh shoot, I'm in the wrong. It's like, wait, why is this is all looking weird and different to me? Here. So the command is update. Wait, let's go double check the strings match. They do. So there's my command, which means we should be coming in here to update player. So I want to come in and say, let's do console log here, throw in the name of the method there. Assume we're getting that far. While we're here, another console log. It's changed. Yeah, I'm not seeing the logic. There's nothing that I'm seeing in here that's indicating why we would not get from here to here. But we're not seeing the player X in here, I think, right? There's a command undefined up here, but I think that's because we fixed it. Let's refresh. And let's initialize. Let's get back and hit the button. Whoops, I guess I want to do here. Update player. You get to update player. I feel like we're close to discovering the logic error here. So, okay, the ready to roll dice hasn't changed according to it. Let's try again. Hit it again. I only get as far as that, which means this and this are both the same. That doesn't make sense. Is it because yeah, I actually haven't set the stats over, transferred the stats over yet. To do transfer stats across. Oh, here's my problem. Here's my problem. I'm deserializing the most recent stat, which takes everything across. I only want the player ID from it. So what I want to do instead is I want to say, I want to get a variable for this. And all we want to do is set the player ID for it. Okay, that feels way better. So Zauki is now following. Thanks for that follow. Appreciate it. Got an active crowd out here this morning. I didn't like this comment here, so I'm going to create a new method called create new player stat. Really? Why? I don't like that. Why did I do that? Why couldn't it have just grabbed the player? I feel like that would have been the more responsible thing to do. Change this to this. Player stat. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble using the word prototype here, but I mean it in the general sense of it, not in the JavaScript sense of it. Prototype player stats. Or should I just give it the player ID? Yeah, it's the player ID. That's what I really want to send. Okay, so we're going to change this to player ID. Yeah, it's much better. Okay, create new player stats, player ID. Now I can get rid of that comment. And now I think we got a shot of it. All right, I'm going to go to the front overlay and see if we see this dragon. I'm going to refresh it. Initialize player data. On that push, you don't need to pass new player stats? No. Oh, wait, maybe let me check. Create new player stats. Oh, geez, you're right. Yeah. Good job, Mr. Smoothie. Yeah, it's Java. Well, it's TypeScript. That's what I'm working in Zazuki. It's TypeScript. It is. Okay. Yeah, good catch, Mr. Smoothie, on that. Good catch. Yeah, Zazuki, ask questions anytime. I don't know if I got answers. I'll do my best. But yeah, we are. I feel like we're really perilously close to getting this animation working.
He's awesome.
And yeah, he is awesome. Thanks so much, Mr. Smoothie. Appreciate that. That was a great catch. And all right, let's do the refresh on the front overlay again for the dice layer. There's that. Let's initialize player data. I want to see that dragon. Come on, give it to me. I hit the button. Ugh, nothing. What? I still got a problem in here somewhere. What do I got? Update player is coming in. I didn't refresh this. Let's refresh this one. Really feel like that should have fixed it. Initialize player data again. And come back over here. Okay, let's hit the button. Yeah, nothing different. Update player, ... So the data coming down is correct. The player's there. All right, I think the problem is back kind of where we were before. I think it's in this space. Adding missing players. We're adding the missing player. All right, let's. I think we've got like a this and a most recent player stats maybe mixed up somewhere. So this is going to create it, and it's adding it into players. The player stats by ID is going for grabbing from players as well. Latest player stat, player stat by ID, animal command for player. Hold on. These are looking like they should be different. This code just still looks good to me here. I'm not trusting that I'm looking at it, that I'm actually verifying that correctly or not, though. I'm like a little bit questioning my conclusion. Let's just keep following it in here. We know we get to here. We know we get down into here to update player. We know we get to here. And these are always the same. So I guess we back up. Nothing changes here, so we back up. Yeah, let's look at this line carefully here. It looks so good. Unless we get to this point and these latest player stats is the same as this. I think we back up. This code looks good to me. Got get player X, most recent player stats. Added missing players. All right, let's do this. Okay, let's throw that out, see what we get. Okay, hitting the button. Okay. Most recent player stats is there. This player's has got a length of 1. Player ID is undefined. thought we signed that. That's certainly going to be causing the problem here if we didn't assign player ID. Did I fail to do it in, what was it? It was called create new player stats. Wait, did I select the wrong one to jump to? Create new player stats. There it is, player ID. I feel like I'm totally assigning that player ID. Is this one not coming in good? Wait. I'm expecting to see the player stat in here to be correct. Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't get this at all. What if we have a name problem here? Let's go see if there's a second one problem we got ourselves into here. Player stats, all player stats, players. Go into C#. Players, list of player stats. Those are matching up. Is my problem even here in the constructor or in the deserialized call? Yeah, this player stats entry. Suzuki says, I'm so glad I'm learning to code by myself and seeing someone debugging is so useful. Well, good. I'm like, usually I'm way better at this. Usually I'm not like, what is going on? But what's interesting is, see, look at this. This player's is a player stats. This one I've deserialized is not. I don't get that. Right? See, here I've got an individual object here. But I'm still expecting to see the properties of player stats here. What's happening here? I'm wondering if it is a... related data. That's coming in correctly. Why isn't players coming down correctly? So after deserialization, we seem to be having the problem starting with player stats DTO string is coming down. We're sending that out. Console logging change player stats here. Just to state the obvious, you won't see the properties if they were not set, either undefined, such as if the C# isn't sending them. It sounds like you're stating that as not, you've got a question mark at the end, but I think you're saying that that's the case. Well, look, here I see I got null for latest data. Players should totally be sent down. What I'm confused by is I've got the same object, I believe, I'm sending out the same type of object in two different places. Well, no, wait, this says it's an array of player stats after deserialization. Let's go look at that. Oh, I'm sending out the players right there. I see. I want to send this is what I want to send out. Now I got a good comparison. Okay, let's go back. I think I might have been distracted by the differences in the reports there. Yeah, Zazuki, I'm like, I'm floundering a little bit. Smacking up against the walls. But, you know, the thing is, you just can't stop trying things. That's like one thing that I've learned in like the last year, you know, even, is the more you keep trying, the more you keep trying things eventually. Laughing out loud, it's better for me to learn. Good. Yeah, just keep throwing everything you have against it. All right, I'm hitting the button again. There it is. Okay, here we go. Player stats. So here, Coding Gorilla, I'm expecting to see the properties of player stats. Right here, you can see in players, I had ready to roll dice is false and player ID is 2. Why don't I see these here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If I may offer a pro tip, never be satisfied with it works now. Strive to understand why it works now. Yeah, you're not going to see that demonstrated a lot on this show. You get it sometimes, but not all the time. If you would go straight for the answer, I'd be more lost, I guess. Sorry, my only sense of French. Oh, bonjour. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? All right. So I don't get that. I'm like expecting, I'm curious and wondering if this may be a symbol that I've got a problem. That's what I'm wondering. But I see the same thing down here. This players is odd to me. Très bien, et vous? Come see, come saw right now. We'll see. I'll get this thing, you know, working and I'll be great. Okay, let's do this instead. Since we're curious about this, let's do this. Oops. We're going to say this and then this. So we're going to show what player it is. We're going to put that out. I'll do put an empty line at the end of that as well. Let's refresh. Initialize player data. Yeah, fighting with that data. Get down there what I'm expecting. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, do I need to rebuild something? Is the problem that Jason is, you know, made changes and under the covers Jason is, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of like because everything looks so good. What do we have? This player's a 0. I don't understand. Why don't I see the properties on it? Is this thing not typed? Not properly typed? It's an array of player stats. Let's very specifically go in and get the player ID. I think this is, we're going to see this as undefined, is what I think is going to happen here. At which point we got a problem in serialization, and I'm not exactly sure why. There's refresh. There's the initialized player data. So TypeScript is Java with some perks of JavaScript or something. It seems to the noob I think I am. It's a mix between both. It's kind of a wrapper around JavaScript with some helpers to improve the quality of your code. Would be the way I would describe it. So you can create flexible code, code that is closer to type-safe code, I think. That's kind of what we're looking. That's kind of what the goals of TypeScript are. I started learning JavaScript actually on this show, and after about a month or two of writing code, someone suggested we switch it from JavaScript to TypeScript, and I did it. And within like a couple days, we were like seeing the benefits of it. We were really liking it. So we'd written just enough JavaScript that we were able to tell if there was going to be a gain or not in terms of quality. Yeah, it's a type-safe superset, says Coding Gorilla. Featured chat. I'm just looking at featured chat, and it will stop working. It needs a refresh. Looks like. The reason, because I wanted to just throw that up real quickly. It's not working here either. I need to refresh it. Okay. Looks like featured chat is off, and the only way I can get to it is in. Oh wait, I think I have an idea. If I can get it without disrupting the stream too much. Featured chat is a browser source. Add existing. There it is right there. Put it up there. Let me drop it down inside of here. Let's go to properties, choose refresh. And now see, was that magic enough to bring it up and get featured chat to work now? There we go. All right, worked around it. There you go. That's Coding Gorilla out there. Not related to, wait, what's, oh, right. JavaScript versus Java. Correct. Yep. Okay. And Mr. Smoopy is weighing in with whether JavaScript is evil or good. Or whether Java is evil or good, rather. And Firepower's back. Here we go. Firepower and Coding Gorilla increasing the quality of the show substantially. Wow, Suzuki says, in my town, lots of jobs for Java devs. Java, not JavaScript. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right, we're throwing player ID out. Did we check that yet? Let's hit a button. Yeah, it's undefined. As expected, we have a serialization problem. But it should be good because we, right? Isn't it? The thing's got the same name, isn't it? Let's look at what's the string. Where's the string coming down? Here. Should be 2. I'm hoping the problem is something stupid, but I'm just not seeing it yet. Oh, and here comes Coney Gorilla coming in with more on the discussion. JavaScript is TypeScript. TypeScript, though, cannot be run directly in JavaScript VM. It has to be transpiled. I don't know if I would say JavaScript is TypeScript. Can I just get a power outage in here? Oh, I did. Kids, I got about 3 minutes if we don't get power back on before I got to end the show. I'd like to get some power coming back on. All right. Let's get ready for a raid just in case. If we don't get power coming back on soon. See who we're going to send you to. We'll send you to Bald Bearded Builder. If we don't get it, I'm going to get this, have this ready.
Well, because I'm still using that title.
He's so serious, kids. Look at that guy.
It's interesting the title isn't fire. Why is there always one person in the team who's like, let's write the entire thing in Rust?
Oh, yeah, that's exciting over there. I'm going to get ready for the raid. I probably have, yeah, everything's battery power right now. I think I'm going to lose you kids. We don't have power coming back on. So I really wanted to fix this before we got out, obviously. So I'm going to send you over there to BBB. And, yeah, why so serious? And if I get power back, I'll restart the stream and we'll try to figure out what's continuing. Continue this and get an actual flying dragon on screen. That's what we're going to try and do. Thanks so much, kids. Looks like the DTO is blank or null, so the deserialized ends up with nothing. Yeah, I'm kind of moving back to there. Thanks so much, Smoopy, for that suggestion. I will we'll look at that. I'm going to raid you guys now. Start the raid. And once again, I appreciate the discussion. Firepower, thanks so much for coming back. Adding to it, Coding Gorilla, thank you. Coding Gorilla says, yeah, what he said. Not even a colored beard. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But he's great. All right. Thanks so much, guys. I'll be back on later today if we get power. All right. Talk to you later.